Hi, second coffee of the day. This is becoming a little ritual now how I start the video. It's Friday, I just walked the dog, secured a really nice treat for after lunch. Can't wait to show you. I don't know where this week went, it was so fast. I've been working on 3 projects, or actually 4. Continuing the wedding stationery, the little magazine project, the little logo thing, and I have a little personal project going, like it's not enough. I hope I get to finish it in this video, but it's going to be a digital product, my first ever printable PDF. It's going to be Valentine's Day cards featuring a little character that I've been slowly developing since, I don't know, like last year I started sketching it. And it's this Berlin Rat, but Valentine's Day edition. I did my first one for Easter, I think last year, and it's been in my mind since then. I know I want to do something with it, and I think this is going to be the first time I get it out into the world in a little digital product way. I did this kind of card for Christmas this year. Normally, I really overthink these little projects, and then sometimes when there's other stuff to do, I end up not having enough time and I just drop them. And this year I decided I'm going to just, go with them and, I don't know, have a little longer night here and there if I have to. It's really important to me to take this time for little personal projects because always good stuff comes out of them. I've got so many questions from the last video. Thank you so much. I really didn't know we have such an illustration community and design and just people interested in the arts and making things. I really never knew what was the ratio between people who are watching my videos for Berlin content or who are watching it for illustration. And right now it seems it's more on the illustration side, which I'm surprised with and also happy about. I'm going to reply to some of those questions during this video and the next couple of videos. I have enough of material to include them into vlogs. I really think this kind of format works well for me, doing a vlog but also including some useful information about illustration or living in Berlin or showing you some spots that I discovered or just little inspirations. It's the kind of stuff that I like to watch. I never really watch super illustration and art focused channels. Sometimes, which I will also talk about later in the video. I have some recommendations for you. I got mail. Here's the new Galeb. Let's see. All money related. Aha! Fernsehturm-Cookies. Kann ich bitte 2 haben?
Ja, was darfst du zusehen?
Okay, I'm gonna talk about some questions from the Q&A from the last video. Many questions were kind of related about how to start in illustration, the resources I would recommend, podcast, videos, books, how to make money, how to attract new clients, how to show your work. What would I tell someone trying to get into illustration, where to start? Of course, the main thing is going to be drawing a lot, developing a habit of drawing every day, almost every day, just really lose the fear of drawing. I think I had that. I think I was curious about it for a long time before I actually started, just because I was afraid of, doing it ugly. But you just have to get through that stage, and this is how you learn, this is how you develop. It's a necessary part of the process. So if you're just starting out, do it a lot. Try different tools, try different techniques, find out what you're most interested in, like what feels most natural to you. Are you more inclined into the digital thing? Are you more analog? Are you very detailed? Are you more abstract? Or I knew about my way of doing things is that I like to capture things quickly. I'm not very patient enough for very detailed work. I like the character of the hand-drawn line, and I also know that I'm not very technical and I don't want to spend too much time in Photoshop editing. I would not have the patience to digitalize like analog mediums like watercolor or I don't know, gouache. So that's how I ended up on ink outlines made with a brush. I like the DIY look of it, the handmade look. And digital colors work quite well for me because they're super easy to use for print, to use digitally, and it kind of gives it a bit more of a cleaner contrast to the brush lines. The best one source I can recommend for anyone interested in illustration is James Hughes, The Illustrator's Guide. He has a YouTube channel and I've also got his book. On his channel he talks about not so much drawing, although he did attempt trying to be an illustrator before he became an agent, but he knows about like what your daily routines should be, what your habits around this should be, how you need to present your work, how you attract clients. Regarding drawing and courses, I actually did do a little introduction drawing course before I went to uni. I studied industrial design, and in order to do my entrance exams, I did go to a class where I learned a little bit of perspective. We did some figure drawing, so I do have some of that in the back of my head, even though I'm not trying to do like technically correct drawing now. I think it's helped me a lot to have that. Also at uni we did some drawing objects, like I think in the first year we had vacuum cleaners or skiing shoes like in the middle of the room. I had to draw them correctly. I think we also had some live model drawing. But other than that, there's so many free resources like YouTube videos you can watch to start with, Skillshare for drawing classes. If I have a technical issue or I want to see how to do something in Procreate or Photoshop, I just type it into YouTube and there's always a solution. I did do 2 classes, online courses. One was by Grandmatter Illustration Agency. I think they only did it once. I'm not sure if they repeated it. But it was about the business of illustration, so ways to share your work, to try and attract the clients, and also pricing, which was helpful. And the second course I took was by The Good Ship Illustration. They also have a podcast. In the course, I took Katie's course on live illustration or graphic recording. I haven't done much from it since. It was really great class and I really want to give it a go this year, the graphic recording side of live illustration. I've done the portrait things and I want to continue with that too, but I want to get back into it. For other illustrators' YouTube videos, I don't really watch many, but I don't know if I just maybe want to distance myself from what everybody else is doing in the same field. I watch Michael Driver. He's from this illustration studio. I really like some other illustrators he's working with in the studio, but he's very active in editorial and commercial illustration, and he's just documenting that on YouTube. He's not too focused on the YouTube for the sake of making videos. My favorite thing to listen to is podcast. I haven't listened to music in a while, just because I way prefer podcasts right now. I have a few illustration podcasts I'll talk about. I have other ones that I'll talk about in favorites videos, but regarding illustration, it's The Good Ship Illustration, where I took my class. Helen, Tanya, and Katie, they talk about all sorts of problems, themes, questions people have in illustration. Illustration Hour by Julia Dufossé. She's not recording them anymore, but I think there's a really nice library. She's an illustrator herself, so she knows how to go into detail and talk about more technical things as well. Handsome Frank podcast. They are an illustration agency, and on the podcast they talk with their illustrators they represent, and in the last episode they were also talking with an advertising agent, 2 of them. Sometimes I listen to Creative Pep Talk when I need a pep talk. It's very peppy, so it's sometimes a bit too much for me. That's the thing with podcasts. You really have to enjoy the host's voice, how they talk. And another one is the Illustration Department podcast with Giuseppe Castellano. He's very oriented into book illustration. I think he's an agent or works in publishing. And again, I don't listen to every one of these. I listened to Myra Kalman episode, which was great. I talk about my favorite books and illustrators that inspire me in the workspace video I did a couple of videos ago. I also went through some of my favorite books from them, but just to tell you about the names. Number 1, Joanna Villes. I like Jean Julien a lot. Ludwig Bemelmans, Sompe, Dick Bruna. There's also Pinterest. I would recommend to use mindfully. There's so much illustration, so much good stuff there. It's great to have a browse here and there, but I would say don't try and focus on looking at other people's stuff too much. Just focus on really developing your voice and your way of drawing. It's going to be really valuable in the long run. You were asking about making money and drawing, starting out in illustration, trying to make it your career, your job. I'd say if you're starting out, really have something going on the side. Either if you already have a 9-to-5 job or just like some stable job, stick with it for as long as you can and develop your illustration on the side. If you don't have that yet and are struggling to get it, then there is also the way that I did it, side jobs. Yeah, you get paid less, it's a little bit less stable, but if you're super seriously going for illustration, then that might give you more time and energy to focus on that. So each has its perks and disadvantages. If you're going to develop illustration on a side from already having a job, the big advantage is that you don't depend on illustration to make money right away, or never. If you don't need to make money from illustration to be an illustrator, and you can only focus on really drawing what you want and really develop your portfolio into exactly what you want, and not be forced to doing projects that you're not interested in. If you want to start making money from illustration earlier on, then you might find yourself doing stuff that you're actually not interested in doing in the long run. Like I did a lot of private commissions, which was great. It felt great to get some money early on from that. But I don't know, it's also taken away a lot of time from me where I could be drawing something that could serve me better at attracting like a nice editorial or commercial project. I still try to make time for that at all times, to have something going on that I'm really fired up for, but I do sometimes have to take commissions that I don't want to do forever. Like right now it's wedding stationery. It's great. It's a step up from private commissions, but it's something that it's not my dream job. Okay, with starting to make money from illustration, you're gonna have to share your work. I think the easiest and the most accessible way to do that is doing social media. Instagram is the easiest, just least effort, just post your work, maybe some behind the scenes. You can make reels about it. I attempted TikTok a little bit. You can do that if that suits you. I stuck with YouTube. That suits me better than short form. It is something that keeps me accountable, having these platforms. It helps me attract potential clients. It creates community. I'm sure whenever I have like a product, like, I don't know, I have a coloring book or a zine or the digital product that I'm gonna publish soon, some people following my socials will be interested in it. It's gonna be a nice avenue for me too, especially in the future. I really hope it's going to be a part of my income. When you start reaching out to clients, I think it's really important to have a website. It just feels very professional. Yeah, do make sure that your work is ready for the clients that you're approaching. Make sure that you're technically there, that you can deliver the work that's going to be used in however they like to use their work, in print or digital. A good way to start is reaching out to your network. Do you know someone who works at a magazine? Do you know someone who works in publishing, or a little brand that might need a little image, or like even like a restaurant might be interested in posting a little drawing on their Instagram. Everybody's doing social media now. It's very low stakes. How I did my first book, it was my aunt that knows a sister of a writer, Giga Gombach. She gave me his contact, so I wrote him. Luckily my work was at a level where also the publishing house was happy to work with me, but it did help to have that initial contact. And then after the book was done, we did a little bit of a book tour, had a presentation at the book fair in Ljubljana. That's where I met Ivan, the art director from Galib, who I've been working now for a while. This is the stack of the Galit magazines. Of course, most common way of reaching out to clients is just writing emails, just doing some detective work, finding emails from art directors, editors, marketing people, and writing them emails, sending link to your portfolio, attaching some work in the email. That's how I do it. Sometimes you'll hear back, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it takes a long time to get a reply. So I worked for Luna magazine regularly. I wrote them an email like a couple of years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago. I didn't get a reply for like a year or 2 years. I did even like a little custom illustration for them that I sent in the email, and then out of nowhere they wrote me that they would like to work with me regularly for a column by Alexa Henning von Lange. This is one of them. It was always a full page and a spot. And yeah, I worked for them initially for 1 year, and then we extended for another year. Unfortunately, like half a year in, they went out of print. So I still have a nice stack, and I'm really happy with the drawings I did with them. It was amazing. It really is amazing to have something regular going on. So I know I was super lucky with that, but I need to start doing this stuff again, reaching out. It's just a good habit to keep doing it regularly. Another thing I want to try this year that I haven't tried yet is sending to these contacts in magazines, books and all that, brands, even agencies, little physical printed item like postcards, or people get creative. And I know Michael Driver makes a little bit of like a teacup paper cutout thing, and then like puts a little tea bag inside. It's a really cool idea, I think. I have never done it, and just the other day in one of those podcasts from Hans and Frank, the advertising agents were talking about it, and they said they really liked when they get physical stuff in the mail. So this is something I'm gonna do for the first time this year. Another way of getting out there and showing your work and showing yourself and talking to people is just by being active in your community or in your city. Join a studio with other illustrators. I work from home and it suits me, but yeah, people find it helpful to be together with other illustrators. I guess it makes it easier to host exhibitions together, to do markets together. I do a market by myself at Skulbitsmarkt, vegetable market. They have other stuff as well, but it's a really nice area in Berlin, and I know I like the crowd that comes there, so it's a very nice market. Once I was invited to sell my things at a Soho House Christmas market. My old boss from the shop that I worked at as a side job hosted it. She invited me, and attending that market, I got to meet Sarah from Fulg Berlin shop. That was my person that invited me to draw live at their shop, gave me that chance. And then every time you do a live thing, then you get more opportunities coming. A lady who worked at Stapelstein saw me there twice. I drew her son, and then she invited me to Stapelstein. I did 2 events there already. Of course, I'm posting all that on the Instagram as well and on YouTube. And then another lady who follows me invited me to Personio to draw at their corporate event. So it always goes, kind of snowballs. You do one job, it's easier to get the next one. So this is kind of what I know about it, what I've done so far. But really, I'm not the best resource. Just go to people who really actually know, where I learn from as well. I really have a good feeling about it this year. I'm so fired up. I'm really gonna go for it this year. It's already starting like on a good note, so I'm just gonna keep it going. I sent off these logos. I'm not gonna show you that too much yet. I finished this sketch for the magazine. Need to ink this tomorrow. This goes with this. I still need to do some changes here. This is ready to be inked, printed and inked. This one I showed you in the last video, and I needed to do some changes, so this is it, the upgraded. There's going to be some extra text, and this is going to be distributed a little bit differently, the little items. This still needs a little bit of work, and tomorrow everything needs to be inked. Can you show me one again? color today. Sebi left for a museum. He's going on a little solo trip to meet her, and I'm staying here because I still haven't finished all the inking and I haven't scanned anything yet. And we were planning to go work at a cafe today, but I'm just not ready. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. It's already 3:30. I haven't had lunch, so I'm gonna have Sebi got me my favorite croissant from Sironi, a pistachio croissant. Look at this beauty. It's massive. And not to eat it on an empty stomach, carb and sugar, I'm gonna have a carrot as a Vorspeise. Do you know the glucose goddess? I learned a trick from her. And actually also my mom and grandma, they always made us eat salad before the meal. And it kind of stuck with me. Makes sense. Only doing this so I can get to this. Ready, Jack? Come. Let's go.
Eigentlich überholt mich natürlich recht, weil ich glaube, das hast du noch.
Go, go, go. Thank you. Hi, it's Tuesday. I made it to the coffee shop yesterday and got the test print done of the Red Valentine's Day cards. I found a typo, so I need to fix one little detail, but the rest is ready and I'm so happy how they look. I already cut out some, but let's cut out these guys together. I went completely workaholic this weekend. Didn't really do anything other than draw. But I'm so happy. I've made a good progress and I'm happy with how the drawings turned out. I'm so happy to get these reds out into the world. I've really been thinking about them for like 2 years maybe. Sketched them here and there, but never did anything so far. And I really want to do something proper with them. Like book merch. I have some story ideas I could use them for. They remind me of people of Berlin, because we're all rats. And I want to give them like fun outfits and fun characters to resemble Berlinians, Berliners. And I really like this shaped card idea. I did a similar thing for Christmas, and it's so fun for me also to go to the copy shop, bring my files on a little USB stick, and then you have this drawing on your screen. You bring it to the copy shop, and it's like magic to me that they just bring it to the world there. And it's always a fun outing. I like to combine going to the coffee shop with a little cafe outing. So hopefully, if you want this card, you can do that as well. I want to print out and cut out some extra and leave them around in public places in Berlin. I'm excited to finally have some time to take you around Berlin. In the next vlog, I promise we'll go out, maybe a nice coffee shop. I just really, I need new slippers. We're gonna go to Birkenstock. I just want to see what's new at Uniqlo. I don't need anything right now, but I just need to go out to town, maybe to Muji, do a little round there. That's something you can join me in the next vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.